Right, sorry, my mic is off. Good morning, everyone. It's October 31st, last day of September or last day of October. And yeah, just looking at what the SPY is doing. All right, so let me share my screen here. All right, hi everyone. October 31st, last day of the month. So looking at SPY here is having a little bit of a pullback, almost flat in the SPY. Pre-market low 414, pre-market high is at 416. This one is an outlier, so I'm gonna move that low right there. And then, yeah, let's see what that SPY is doing. So SPY is still trying to decide what it wants to do. Let me just double check here, making sure all our connections are good. All right, SPY is just flat. And all right, so for our watch list, usual suspect. Let's see our gap up and our gap down. Pinterest. I believe they're having earnings. And let's see what Pins did. Already having a pullback. Wow, Pins did amazing for the pre-market. So we have a level here as well. So those are our levels for Pins. And then what is Wolf? Wolf is up as well. Wolf is not a lot of volume. Baba is down. K-Web is down. Let's see what our AMD is doing. AMD is down by 0.78. Pre-market low here. Already broke the pre-market low. So that's AMD. And then let's see what Pfizer is doing. Pfizer, I believe, is having earnings as well. Not sure whether it's a pre-market before the market open or after the close. So that's that. And then Rivian is doing nothing. So let's change our Rivian to an Amazon. Amazon kind of reflects a SPY as well. Look at the 1 minute in Amazon. Very not clean at all. Not clean moves for Amazon. So pre-market low, pre-market high there. So that's the Amazon. And then CHYW, Chewy. Chewy is a float of 116 million. Not a low float stock. Also is expecting earnings today. Pre-market low at 18 and pre-market low high at 19.6. SE, our good buddy SE, is flat. So SE is not doing anything right now. I don't like the daily, so I'm not going to be watching SE. Let's look at Tesla. And all right, Tesla, very volatile stocks. So I can't believe Tesla is at 190s now. This is the stock that had been, look at that one. So that's the level there for Tesla. And then we have SRPT. SRPT is a float of 87 million, so not a low float stock. Wow, but this one is a gap down significantly. It's down by 48%. Look at that. And it just broke the pre-market low. So that could have been a good opening range breakdown. But right now, not doing any opening range breakdown. Very risky. So yeah, we'll wait for 15-20 minutes before our first trade here. Let's do Baba. Baba is down by 2%, pre-market low here, and then our pre-market high All right, so that is our level. What else do we have? Our good buddy Apple. Okay, Apple is, wow. SPY is just having a pullback as well. And looking at the daily here. So let's focus on the daily. Let's focus on the 5 minutes here. And let's focus on the 15 here. All right, so SPY initially was flat, now found the direction that it wants to go. It is down by 0.12%, not a lot. How's the daily looking like? Daily is an inside bar. That is a level right there for 1.4, which is the pre-market low right here. Looks like it's about to test that pre-market low. And yeah, what else? Pfizer is about to have the earnings as well. So Pfizer daily doesn't look good. Daily is an inside bar. It did respected this pre-market low here. Nvidia. I look at Nvidia just because it mimics. It's the same sector as AMD, and pretty much very sensitive with. It kind of mimics as well the SPY. So Nvidia having a pullback here. Just gonna turn on the news as well. I like doing financial juice just to get the latest and greatest. I believe we have some news coming up at 2 as well. Nvidia having a pullback again, as well as Tesla. So let me share my watch list here. Let's see. So my watch list is this one. So those are my levels as well. So no trades yet. I haven't been doing any opening range breakdown and breakout for a couple of weeks, and I find it very profitable actually, not jumping in and getting chopped at the open.
NATO's Secretary General Stoltenberg says that Turkey is fulfilling its part of the deal regarding Sweden's NATO membership bid.
So just gonna turn off the news so you guys get to hear what I'm talking about. All right, so let's look at pins. Since you already saw my watch list, looking at my main screen. All right, so this is the main screen. So pins is a big gap up 13.4%. This one had news, and looking at the daily encountered that resistance right there, which is, if you look at here, that's the a big gap right here, and that gap right there 29.42 was the one that acted as a strong resistance. AMD is getting interesting as well. Look at the daily here. AMD had been getting hammered for how many days now? Now that is the support right there. That is back in September 25. But what I'm interested in seeing is what it'll do at this support right there, that 93. So 93. Yeah, this looks like it will test that 93. Wow. Oh my gosh. Just looking at, I don't know if you can see this. Look at this one. If you were short, yeah, you are no trades to take at this moment. This is very overextended. But what I would like to do is see what AMD will do once it's reached 93.15, which is 93.15. I can't even see it in my 15 minutes just in the daily. But look at this massive move to the downside. That's just nuts. Just getting hammered right there. SPY having a support as well. I don't see any support with SPY yet. SPY has a bunch of orders sitting at the bid, so that is very bearish still. What I'm looking at AMD is it looks very overextended, but at the same time it do have that support still at 93.43 or right here at the daily. So let's see if there's any support that the SPY will show us, and that can we can trade to the long here. So 94.53, looking at the 5 minutes, 5 minutes here, 94.08 is the low of this candlestick. That is around 50 cents up. Yeah, looking at the 5 minutes, unless this one goes above 94.53, it doesn't show any signs of reversal yet. It's still very bearish. So 94.50, let's see, 94.50, I'll be interested in doing a long here in 94.50, but that is also if SPY is gonna show us some signs of reversal. Right now, let's see, did we find a support in SPY? 94.50 will be the interested price that I'm willing to go long on AMD here with a stop loss of 50 cents. Okay, so I started long in AMD. Let's see if it's gonna allow me to add to my position. Add it to my position here. So willing to risk 50 cents with this. Looking at the SPY, if SPY is not gonna show us some signs of reversal, stop loss here is the low of the day, 94.07. Then yeah, I will be out of this trade if this one goes lower than that 94, which is the low of the day. Now looking at SPY, SPY is encountering that resistance at that moving average. So we have to take into consideration that yeah, SPY is encountering a strong resistance. So let's see here. SPY still is encountering that resistance. What about NVIDIA? NVIDIA, same sector as AMD. NVIDIA still is looking weak, so expect some consolidation here. My average cost is not the best, 94.64. So stop loss here is right there at the low of the day. So this one can still go either direction. That's why you have to be very careful with this. Let's see, 64 is the entry. Just add it to my position there. So I added to my position, and just because of that confirmation, looking like it's a bullish because we have had that hammer. Yeah, so just added to my position there with AMD. That hammer is the confirmation. So let's look at what this will do to us. That's a VWAP right there. So expect some consolidation. That is expected. So let's see here. So we were able to go right here at the hammer. Stop loss here is still the low of the day. This can still go either direction. SPY is having some consolidation. Let's look at SPY. Here is by flat, well, down by 0.13%. So we have to manage our AMD really well. NVIDIA is encountering a support as well. NVIDIA is a laggard because now NVIDIA just formed its hammer. So with AMD, we were able to capture this hammer right here at the 5 minutes, but this can still go either direction. With this, what I saw with AMD is at the daily, we have a support at 93.25. Looking at the 15 minutes, look at the sell off here, 96 all the way to 94. So that's already a $2 move. So with that $2 move, with just the open, expect some consolidation to happen here. But let me just put in my 94.65 is my entry here. Still, this can go either direction. So I'm just trying to capture a little bit of a move, not taking some partials yet. And SPY still can go either direction. So although I have a good entry here at 94.65, still managing the trade at this point, I can have my stop loss just right here at the body of this candlestick. Just because if I put my stop loss at 94.44 versus 94.09, I am risking, putting it here is just risking lesser in the body. But what I would like is to see another 5 minutes that's going higher high, higher low. I don't like SPY just because SPY right now is having that wick at the top. That is the 5 minutes. So 5 minutes in the SPY is having that wick. So that wick is very bearish. So stop loss here is still this 94.06 or 05. Giving some time for the SPY to decide what it wants to do. With the SPY, the 1 minute is now at the top of the moving average. So that's pretty much bullish. And while I'm talking, that wick is like going back and forth. So now at the 1 minute with the SPY, it is at the level of the moving average. So we encountered a resistance here at that VWAP. Looking at NVIDIA, NVIDIA also is consolidating. So we don't have any confirmation yet. I don't like that there's a big order sitting here at 94.81. That is very bearish. Now look at the SPY. SPY just also rejected. So with that rejection of the SPY, I will look into AMD. If you see the rejection in the SPY in the 1 minute, you look at the 5 minutes. The 5 minutes it still is a higher high, higher low compared to this wick right here. So we're going to go back and forth looking at SPY and AMD, but that's how you get the confirmation and you get that confirmation that you are heading the right direction. SPY now also just had a wick, but with that wick at the 5 minutes, look at how it is getting that support now, that it is higher high, higher low. We do have this first 5 minutes, not a lot of volume there, but at least it's there. So still consolidating. AMD volume bar is picking up. This is our entry here. Expect some pullback right there. Pullback is definitely a healthy pullback just because those who are scalpers are taking some profits here. But what I like about this AMD trade is the VWAP is now acting as a support. So we're now above the VWAP. I'm waiting for this to create a new high to break this candlestick here, which looks like it's about to. I don't like what SPY is looking, because what SPY is doing is testing again the support in the 1 minute. With AMD, AMD found the support in the VWAP. So AMD is down by 88% or 85 cents. We now created a new high, so we're now definitely going higher high, higher low. Our entry, we were able to time it right here. Big chunk of position here, that's why our average cost is at 94.65. I don't like SPY. SPY is heading another leg down here. So considering that SPY is having another leg down, looking at here, we have to be very mindful of that and see whether AMD will have another leg down as well. Is SPY going to have a support at that pullback versus will it break that support? So I will be very careful. If AMD lost the VWAP here, SPY just had a pullback. Testing SPY. SPY is testing the pre-market low. So with that test of the pre-market low, I have hands on the trigger. Let's see here. Willing to take partials here, 94.65. Now 94.65, since that is my entry, that would be my stop loss as well now. So 94.65 will be my stop loss. That's the good thing about having a good entry. You get a little bit of a pullback to the VWAP, but I don't like SPY. SPY is still having a pullback. It just made a new low. SPY needs to create a new support before we get a move from AMD. Otherwise, AMD is just going to get pulled back as well. So 94.65 is my stop loss in AMD. Let's see if SPY looks like it's testing another support here, but 94.65, looking at the tape here, tape having 94.97, 95 as a support in AMD. SPY also found some buyers at around 414.27. AMD having that support at 95. That VWAP still our stop loss now is going to be the break even. SPY had the pre-market low as a support there. So right on the bat, pre-market low that we put here, right, this, it acted as a support in the SPY. So AMD still having that 95 as a support, which is the VWAP. So 95, looking at SPY, SPY is testing again the pre-market low. In the 1 minute, it looks like pre-market low at 414.48 acted as a strong support in SPY. So looking at SPY versus AMD, SPY had a new low of the day. AMD, the movement that AMD did while SPY is having a new low of the day is just the VWAP. So that would give you a picture that AMD is strong. If SPY had a pullback at the this candlestick, created a new low, AMD had VWAP as a new low, then yeah, AMD is strong. But again, my stop loss here is my entry at 94.65. So hence is on the trigger. 94.65 will be the stop loss. SPY creating a new high in the 1 minute. What I like about this trade is Nvidia, which is the same sector, also found a bottom there and found that reversal as well. So still this can go either direction. So did you see what SPY did? SPY just had a rejection at that moving average. So 94.65 is still my stop loss here. 95. Every time AMD touches 95, which is the VWAP, it finds a support there. Just broke that support. So now 95.0203. Looking at the tape there. NVIDIA having a little bit of a resistance as well with the VWAP. But what I like about this trade is we are now at the top of the VWAP in the 5 minutes. Volume bar, not as dramatic yet, but that's why you expect some consolidation there. But look at this wick, how this wick was formed. Buyers step in when it touches that 94. So who are those buyers? Who are those traders? Those traders are those that did not get an entry like us here. So every time it has that lower price, it is getting bought. So getting bought to the long. So still can go either direction. So 94.65 is still, there's a lot of bid here, so expect some pullback right there. 94.99, we're back in that level. We just broke that level, 94.92. Let's see if we'll find a support. Look at that. Every time it dips, we find a support right there. So we had another retest of that level, 94.92, and sure enough, it is getting bought. SPY now formed that hammer at the 5 minutes, although it's a red hammer, so not really an indicative of a bullishness, but still it's a hammer. So the thing that is indicative of a bullishness in a hammer is how long is the wick at the bottom, because that means that wick at the bottom is getting bought when you see a hammer at the low of all the price action. So now still watching, studying the price action here. Every time it gets bought at that, every time it touches 94.92, it is just getting bought here. So you see the buyer stepping in here. Yeah, this is their only chance to go and buy this at this price, because it already created that wick right there. So every time it gets 94.93 gets bought. I like how SPY is forming. SPY now is forming that hammer, white hammer in the 5 minutes. So if SPY just shoot up, then that would help our trade with AMD. AMD expects some consolidation just because of that volume right there. It's not there yet. Waiting. So lots of earnings today, just hearing the news. So still stop loss 94.65. We're up here. Another SPY and another little bit of a pullback with the SPY again. Let's see, NVIDIA now also had that curl up, but what I'm looking at NVIDIA is, let me actually put NVIDIA and AMD. Okay, so this one, that's an inside bar of this. Inside bar with that red, that's a little bit of bearish. So we would have to take notice of what it'll do at the support right here at 94.91. It needs to respect this support at 94.91. If it's not going to respect that 94.91, then this is going to be getting very bearish. So let's, all right, looking at SPY. SPY is creating a new low, about to test again the pre-market low on SPY. So let's see here, looking at the 5 minutes here. SPY tested pre-market low again. Pre-market low in SPY acting as a support, willing to get out of here at the break even. SPY having a massive pullback. So still break even here is 94.65. So looking at SPY here, SPY needs to defend the pre-market low. Otherwise, I will be out of this trade at the break even, which is 94.65, this level right here. So SPY creating another pullback. Let's see here, hands is on the trigger. If we reach that 94.65, we're out of this trade. Otherwise, we'll keep this trade. Nvidia, interesting enough, is at the VWAP. Nvidia, interesting enough, is looking bullish. And then SPY have a big volume bar in that first 1 minute candlestick, created a new low with the SPY. So new low with the SPY. This one has a big ask right here. Even if SPY created a new low, what AMD did was did not show any signs of bearishness at all. Look at this volume bar. When it was closing red, it was very tiny. So those were just some profit takers, some scalpers selling their shares. So we're now encountering another moving average here. SPY still consolidating. Hence is going to be on the triggers still. Now this trade right here is just going to be either a break-even trade or a home run trade. Looking at the 15 minutes looking very good to the long. So we have this low is higher than this low is higher than this low, so we created a trend there. What I would like to see is to break this level 95.47. SPY, Nvidia is still at the VWAP. This one is at the VWAP again, but this trade right here is looking good. So 94.64, imagine we are already up by more than 50 cents here. So, but I'm willing to risk that 50 cents. My stop loss now is at break even. I haven't partialed yet, just because I'm waiting for SPY to make a decision. Right now, it's still below the pre-market low, so SPY is still weak. This one is defending that support 94.91. Again, my hands is going to be on the trigger. It breaks the 94.91. SPY is creating a new low here. Then we would have to be careful, and we would have to be out at the break even, which is 94.65. Now the volume bar here is starting to pick up when we're pushing down, so that's bearish. So with that, SPY just created a new low. Nvidia is just below the VWAP, because the other thing that can happen with AMD is it can even test this level right here, which is the low of this candlestick. The last time it was on that low as well was May of this year. I like that the volume bar picked up there. So you can tell there that bear or bulls are starting to step in here. You have the a doji looking there. I like that the red candlestick is with a small volume bar. So that means expect some just consolidation there. But what I would like to see is for this not to retest this support 94.92, because the thing with the support is the more times it gets, looks like it's gonna test that. More times that it gets that test the support, the higher probability that it will break that support. So if that support is broken, then we're not gonna make a big profit out of this, and we're just gonna come out break even at 94.65. So SPY having another pullback here. Let's see what this will do at 94.91. That had been a strong support here so far. SPY, looking at the 5 minutes, had that big candlestick in when we formed that big candlestick. So let's look at AMD. So the reason why I keep watching at AMD is you want to see as well the price action. Price action that I'm looking at now is how quick is the tape as well as the level 2. In the level 2, are we stacking up with lots of ask versus lots of bid? Right now, there's there's no imbalance basically. You cannot tell where this one wants to go because nothing is there, right? So SPY did create a big volume up to volume bullish to the 1 minute. So now looking at this, we have been respecting and having this as a strong ceiling, this moving average here. So we need to consider that as well. Look at this moving average. Every time it touched that moving average, it is being rejected. But SPY just had a pop. This is the move that I was waiting for a SPY. If SPY get a pop, then that would ignite the fire here in AMD. So SPY is at the VWAP. Big move in the SPY. That's why we were not taking any partial here because there is a big potential still. SPY, this is what SPY had been doing. You get a big move and a big rejection. But as long as the thesis is still there, higher high, higher low, support of 94.91 is still being respected. We are inside bar. So this bar right here is inside this candlestick. So we're still in that higher high. So yeah, we're keeping this trade. Haven't partialed anything yet. And this is the only trade that I have. The thing about just focusing on one, SPY is creating the move, which is good. NVIDIA, AMD could be a laggard, but look at what Tesla is doing. Tesla as well have found that move. So that's the move that we're waiting for AMD. AMD still is waiting for some momentum here. But as long as it's not gonna retest that support again, SPY, SPY pushed up even higher, then this could be a good trade. But right now we are up, let's see, almost 50 cents. Okay, so now what I'm seeing is the ask. We're starting to build up some volumes there. The ask, because not one is still being. Sorry, just checking the feed here. All right, so this is the move that we're waiting for. SPY. Look at the volume bar. Nothing is there, right? So yeah, that can also just be a trap. But who cares about the trap? If there's a movement, I need AMD to break that moving average. And yes, that's the one that I'm waiting for. Now what I'm waiting for is AMD to break this high, 95.46, because that means we really get that that reversal. But yeah, this one, good one, good trade. Things that we have to consider. Okay, now this one you have to be very careful with this. Look at the volume bar, right? Volume bar, bunch of bid right here. So expect a pullback. SPY is heading up. AMD, not yet. We're still waiting for that steam. SPY. Look at the 1 minute and SPY. Look at this volume bar. So that is the support that I'm waiting for. If SPY gives us that strength, Tesla is giving us that strength. We are long in AMD. With this, our entry is at 94.65. We just need more volume to come in and break that strong resistance there. Then yeah, this could be a one and done. All right, so now that's the resistance, that's the ceiling that I'm waiting for to break off of. This is 95.47, and we have a bunch of orders sitting at the ask. There you go. Wow. So look at this. That's the move that I was waiting for, because SPY is just playing with us for quite a while. So yeah, we encountered some resistance right there, 95.46. SPY just having some consolidation. Volume bar is not there, but the 15 minutes looking very promising. I haven't even partialed yet. This one, expect another test at the support here. That's just how it is. But SPY had a big push. So let's analyze what SPY did. SPY did, just for that one candlestick, 414 to 416. That's a $2 move. It's now up by 0.8% or 34 cents. Not a lot, but considering that SPY, look at what SPY have been doing. We have that it's been selling off for how many days? So they need to kind of give some love to the SPY, otherwise investors just going to be running. So we encountered a strong resistance right there. Volume bar is not there. Let's see. SPY, looking at the 1 minute, that's a big volume bar with the SPY in the 1 minute. So scalpers could just pretty much jump in there if they went long 414. Even with the options, that's a $2 move already. Could be some profit takers as well. Big volume here, so could be some pullback as well. But with AMD, my plan here is to just wait. I see a little bit of a potential with AMD. If NVIDIA, Pinterest, if NVIDIA backs up my thesis here that it had found at least some buyers at that level, then our trade with AMD will be golden. So big pullback here, which is expected because we saw already in the SPY that big volume bar with this. So expect some pullback to happen. So thesis here, just analyzing the 15 minutes. If you are a 15-minute trader, those who went in to go long at 95.08, so they're still in this trade, so they're up by 35 cents. But since we were able to time it good and we were able to went in at this level with an average cost right there at the hammer of this 94.65, then yeah, this one is, we're just waiting for it to get some steam, get some love, and this one can still head higher. Now looking at the 15 minutes, you have that trend, higher high, higher low. So right, so you have that trend. So we were able to time it right here at the 5 minutes. So entry was here, and the initial rest was, what was that, 94.65, 94, so around 60 cents. That's a big risk, but that's why once it started moving in my favor, my stop loss then is the entry, which is 94.65. I added more in this rather than this move. That's why the average cost still falls right here at 94.65, and this is the steam that I was waiting for. So yeah, SPY found that, made that decision that it doesn't want to go down anymore because it had been going down for quite a while. And if they just keep pounding the market, then what's going to happen to the investors? Investors will be pulling up their position as well, and that would create a havoc. That's why you need to have those volatility, and those are the moves that a day trader gets to capture. And yeah, we're sitting very nice here, up by, yeah, it's a very nice profit here. I did not even use all my capital, but up very nicely. So that one is a one and done. Now, is it wrong to take partials? Not at all. Let's see here. Okay, let's see. All right, so what I'll do with AMD is we encountered some resistance right there. SPY, I don't see any news now. What I've been seeing is SPY have tested this pre-market low, and that's why it's very important that you put in your levels. Look at how it tested so many times pre-market low. Tested that pre-market low, and every time it tests that pre-market low, buyers are stepping in because it created that wick. So every time it got pushed down, buyers come and pick it up, and that's why it created that wick. So we have that reversal right there, and you can already kind of give you a picture of that because of the daily. The daily yesterday, almost like an inside bar, but you can see already the tilt of where is the reversal here. The reversal here is you have the hammer from 2 days ago. 2 days ago, you have that hammer and then created that first white candlestick, tested that level, which is the body of this hammer, and then from the body of that hammer acted as a strong support, and then now we're heading up. Now AMD is countering that resistance right there, which is at 95.81. That's totally expected, just because this one already had a big move. It moved from 94 all the way to 95, so that's already $1 move. So of course there's no stocks that just goes like always higher high, higher low. Expect some consolidation to happen. That's expected. What is that resistance that we're encountering? That is our pre-market low. So 95.61 acted as a ceiling there, as a resistance. SPY having the pullback. So that strong wick right there, that is also SPY almost touched the high of the day and then got the rejection right there. So NVIDIA having a little bit of a pullback. NVIDIA encountered as well a moving average. Let's look at the SPY. If SPY is able to defend this price at 415, which is almost just flat, 0.05%, then yeah, we are encountering another territory, another place of support here. So still there, bunch of orders sitting at the ass. That's very bullish. So this one is gonna have a pullback because NVIDIA just had that pullback right there. NVIDIA had this. NVIDIA not as strong as AMD because NVIDIA is almost just playing at the VWAP. Now AMD can pretty much do that as well. It just can play at the VWAP as well if it loses its momentum. But right now it still has that potential to get higher than this level, 95.82. I think I'm a little bit biased as well with AMD just because as an investor as well, every time I get to see like a good deal with AMD, which is less than 100, it's like the investor in me kicks in because I do have my swing trading account as well that, that could be a good, price for my portfolio. But right now, to be honest, if you're going to be starting a swing, it will not be as profitable as a day trader, because swing can just get that blow as well. Whatever you know the government are doing, whatever Jerome Powell is saying, whatever the news is, you can get a stagnant price with swing. So, but let's say you have a money that you don't need to use for the next 2 to 3 years, then yeah, swing. But you have to be very, very selective on what you're gonna invest on. So this one, yeah, look at the V reversal that AMD did. This is about to touch 96.25. 96.25 is the high of the day. It looks like we're about to create a new high of the day here. Look at the strength there. Look at the volume here at the ask. So yeah, this is a very profitable trade here. So imagine that there will be some sellers at that high of the day. And is it wrong to take some partial? Not at all. Every time you take some partial, partials are good. It's anytime you put money in your pocket, that is always a good thing. You always gonna have like, oh, FOMO. What if it went higher? What if, I wrote it and I did not take partial? I could have gotten more, but there's always gonna be some money left on the table, but that's okay. You just have to get used to it. And there's some, yeah. So I'm gonna sell some here. Okay, took some partial there. And let's see, expect some pullback, but we already made a decent profit out of that move. So the move that we were able to capture was 94.65 all the way to 96. So yeah, that 96. So right now that I had that partial, I'm just going to be on the sideline and wait for a more massive move, so to speak, with this. Tesla, Pinterest, very strong. Pfizer, same thing. What I like to see is the overextension for AMD. All of this SPY to look overextended, and then we can write it to the short later on. Apple just created a new high of the day. And Apple looks like it like all the stocks, what I see with all the stocks now, Apple, Amazon, SPY, of course that's a collection, a basket of stocks, but they just got hammered, and that it just found the support there. So it's in a way kind of like easy to read kind of thing, that if you get so hammered, where else can you go, right? If you get that rock bottom there, it's just gonna go up from here, and that's what's happening here. So SPY just had that 5 minutes pullback. With that 5 minutes pullback in the SPY, AMD is not showing any signs of weakness yet. This one, yeah, it's not pushing up that quickly compared to earlier, but yeah, SPY just had a 5 minutes pullback right here. This is the time that I usually get to short stuff, but I don't like shorting now because everything, just like what I mentioned, looks oversold, right? This daily, so you want to look at the higher time frame, higher time frame looks like it's oversold. So if it's oversold there, even if you are able to capture a little bit of a short, but that will be so hard to capture. So why don't you just go with the trend? If this one looks oversold and the daily looks like it had found a bottom, you have found a reversal, then go with it. Go with that trend. So yeah, still having higher highs, higher lows there. Tesla, expect some consolidation at this point. So what I'm looking now is, we're still in the AMD trade, but since we are in that consolidation, it's now a good time to look for a stack that looks like it's overextended or has an easy move. Pfizer. Look at that Pfizer. Those are the money maker right there. You get Pfizer, you get that hammer. This is almost the same hammer that we get to catch in AMD, but Pfizer did it kind of late, unlike AMD. AMD, we were able to capture that hammer and we're still up. Big with this. But look at Pfizer. Pfizer created that hammer. So you get your entry at the top of the hammer, 29.86 stop loss, 29.70. You're risking less than 20 cents and you get that move. So that's how you look at those potential move. This is predictable. You get that test of the high of the day, created a new high, inverted hammer here, and then SPY having that little bit of a pullback. Apple as well is going to have that. But again, I don't want to short anything right now because on the daily, everything looks oversold. So we encountered another resistance right there. So what I'll do here with AMD is, let's see here, is to move my stop loss now. But look at that, it still is going higher high, higher low. And that's the thing that I like about AMD here. Buyers are just willing to step in. And although Nvidia is still at the VWAP, AMD left the VWAP already, like far gone. And then what SPY did, almost retest that VWAP, but buyers step in. Pins is the pickup up here, 28, 29. Yeah, that one is hard to capture now. It just left, so you don't want to be stuck there. I'm just watching Pfizer right here. Look at that move. AMD, we're still up a good amount with AMD. Good risk to reward there. And it took some partial here. This one is going to create new high of the day. I won't be surprised with that. With the SPY showing that signs of at least some strength. Again, they have to defend. Creating new high, AMD. Look at this big candlestick right here. All right, having a little bit of a pullback. Now this is the inside bar right here. If this one creates a pullback right here, then yeah, we might kind of lose the trend here. It did just pop right there above that level. So the ceiling that we're trying to break off of is 96.12, and yeah, 96. Bunch of orders here. SPY just created a hammer. All right, so let's look at an easy trade. Since once we're done with the trade with our AMD, then I would like to look at other trades. Look at Boston Scientific here. But this one is not tradable. Only 190,000 shares being actively traded. AMD, look at that. Yeah, this is just a one and done here. But Amazon already having a pullback. So this can be, SPY can also just do this too. Amazon still has a way to go down, but it's just an inside bar as well. So I wouldn't trust this move to the downside. AMD having that little bit of a pullback. Looking at AMD looks like a little bit of overextended, to be honest, just because for the 15, we have 45 minutes that we're heading higher high, higher low. So with that, I'm just gonna put in my stop loss. Not to risk this too much is okay. So stop loss is right there. Why am I doing that stop loss? Because Amazon just had this big pullback, so I don't want to be part of that pullback when I'm long, and I want to protect my profit. So this one, if this goes below 95.8, then I am out of this trade. So big order sitting right here, so that's very bearish. What's SPY doing? Okay, come on, waiting for a fill. Thought process here is, I'm not even getting filled yet, but should I reverse my position to the short? It is very tempting to do that. The only thing though is, again, looking at the higher time frame, shorting this would not give me a big reward versus the risk, because it's just looking pretty much oversold right here at the daily. So Tesla had a big pullback. So moving my, okay, so I'm all out there. Let's see, do I have extra? Now thinking, do I reverse my position? Do I short it now? Let's see. So let's, Pfizer having a pullback, pins still strong. SPY, what are you doing? Down again by this. Very risky to do a short here because I was a long bias. Now why am I doing a short? So right now I'll just be on the sideline for this. Be on the sideline. So those are the things that you have to consider as well when you're trading. Like, you don't have to rush into it, because right now all I want is like, okay, let's do this. Let's the market is hot, let's jump into a short. But you would never know how strong this stock is until, look at this, now all the ask is stepping in, or those are very bullish. So this is the move that we were able to capture. Oh my goodness gracious. Let's see. 5 minutes. 5 minutes looking bearish. Okay, thinking if 5 minutes still has the room to go down. It did. Okay, look at the volume bar. Volume bar is not there. This can be a short because SPY is having a pullback. Will it be worth the short? The short there could have been at 95.87. Stop loss is at 96. 0.15, so almost like a 30 cents risk. The only thing is that's very risky. You don't want to short that. I'm telling it to myself as well, because Phi can just do whatever it wants. It can just shoot up as well. So let's wait for an easy trade. It can pretty much just go down and I can have a massive FOMO, which is right now is happening. But if the risk to reward ratio is not there, then you can't. You just don't want to be part of that. So yeah, one and done. But let's still look for an easy trade. So yeah, this is the reversal that I was looking at. Yeah. Okay. So rather than having that fear of missing out, let's just look at how this thing is gonna go down without us. Oh my god. So yeah, this is gonna tank. Look at Pfizer. Pfizer tanked as well. This is why it's the best time to be a day trader. Look at that move. No one can get money out of that unless you're a day trader. This market is crazy, but I like it. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is what I like. Pfizer, it's about to test the low of the day, 29.7. This is the kind of things that you wanted to do. You don't want to, oh my gosh, it just shoot up. You want to do a trade that is a low risk. AMD, that could have been a good short. I don't know how low would that be, but what I would like to do is to long this one again if it touches 94.42. So I hope the market is going to tank a bit so I can have that opportunity to go long, because I'm not confident to short this one, especially when we have a good day. And yeah, just didn't want to mess up a good day. So let's see. But I'm not gonna complain. It's pretty much it's a good day, so you know, you just have to take what the market's gonna give you. And right now it's giving us a decent move. Wow. So let's see. So if the entry was 95.85, that was already a 50 cents move. Let's just have coffee. Pfizer, look at this level. Buyers step in right here, 29.80. There were buyers just waiting for a cheaper price before they get in. And sure enough, they scoop this price in 29.80, and right there it's just shoot back up. Nvidia, very weak here. AMD, I want AMD to break the VWAP and lose the VWAP so I can re-enter. Alright, I didn't know that I have a meeting at 12. I guess I do. So let's see if I can wrap this one up. Pins is the one of the strong stock today. You don't want to short this one. This one can just be a runner for the day. What else is there? SRP, look at this. Look at that price action. Nothing is there. Like that flat, like that amount, although one can argue, well, it moved from 64 to 57, but with that move, look at our spread, 0.05 spread. But look at your tape, it's not as fluid compared to your AMD here. All right, so I want AMD to tank a little bit more. which looks like we're getting there because the momentum is getting there. The volume is starting to pick up when we're pushing down. I like this one to push down even more so I can scoop it again at 94.65, 67. Pfizer had another leg down. Amazon. The one that I've been watching before is Disney. What's happening with Disney? Disney found the bottom as well at 79, but not a lot of movement. Look at those wicks. Those are not clean. SE, I've been shorting this one. An inside bar, so not a lot of movements there. Medtronic. Oh yeah, found a hammer here at the daily, 69. 1.3 million, not a lot of volume there, 69.91. Yeah, it looks like this one looks like an all-time low. I was looking at this one because this is the machine that we get to use at work. Yeah, that's the all-time low there. I'm just not comfortable yet to do any long-term investment right now. Did not want to add to any of my portfolio just because SPY looks like it's not done. Heading lower still. Look at that. Buyer step in, bought this stock at 95.21. So we missed that just because we were looking for a different stock. Look at that big wick right there. That support got defended again. And even SPY. So this is the reason why I was saying earlier, you don't want to short anything right now because we are in this level where everything looks oversold, and this is where, every time it gets sold, buyers are stepping in. So you get that wick. Apple as well. Pfizer. Okay, let's go back to Pfizer. Pfizer is the one defending this level right here. Big volume bar. How does it look like in the daily? 29.91. It's just moving like 60 cents. So I would need big orders for me to make a profit out of this. Big order sitting at the bid. So not done yet. Heading lower. So this is the reason why I was not comfortable shorting AMD. If you short it right here, it shoot up, right back up. Yeah, unless you just scalp it, you could have made money out of that. But that's why I was saying that I am long bias on AMD, and having that bias to the long, it will be hard to counter trend that thesis just because, that means you're self-guessing or yeah. So okay, that level is there. 29 volume bar. Pfizer looks like, is this the all-time low? I'm interested in Pfizer. Looks like, yeah, there is one more level there, 28.81. Do we have a news in Pfizer? Breaking news, Outlook, looks like they have earnings. So the daily for Pfizer, I thought Pfizer was doing good. So daily opened up here, so that was an inside bar and then got the rejection and then just a lot of volume right here. It's 10:45. I have 1 hour to trade. AMD, look at this. Look at that. Those who scooped this price at 95.21 got that move. Wow. That is amazing. If I don't see anything else, okay, Pfizer. There you go. Defended that level, 29.86. 351, big order sitting there. Okay, entering long Pfizer here. This would be my last trade here. yeah, I did like how Pfizer was forming. It created that double bottom, and then let's see here if I can add to my position. So stop loss here is still the low of the day, and there's a big order sitting there. That's why I went long in Pfizer. Let's see if it's gonna allow me to add here. Big order 30005. SPY having a little bit of a pullback, but Pfizer looks like at least it had found that bottom right there. And let's see if I can build up a small position here. 995. I'm waiting for another pull back on Pfizer, but it's not pulling back. But we do have a big order sitting at 30.05. SPY, considering SPY is having a pullback, I will really be careful with this Pfizer trade, just because, yeah, this can go either direction as well. So with Pfizer, my entry is 29.97. So that is the entry. Let's just change the color here so I don't confuse myself. This level is the pre-market low. That's what we did earlier. I just did not have time to change the color because the market was already open. All right. So entry was there, 29.97. There was a big order here, 30.005. Let's look at how that one will pick up the steam once it is it fills that share, unless that one is canceled. But 30.05, so that would be right there, 30.02. AMD just left and still heading higher. All right, so let's see here, a little bit of a pullback there. Where is my stop loss? Stop loss is, where is my handy dandy old-fashioned calculator here? So 29.97 is the entry, which is that pink line. And if my stop loss is at 29.70 with an entry of 29.70 minus 29.97, risking 27 cents with the position that I have. Okay, so that will be a too much risk. So that means my stop loss here, I don't like creating this as my stop loss, although that's the logical one. That would give me a lot of risk considering that I have a big position. So stop loss is just right here, which is also logical because that is still the level that it touches with these two candlestick here. Once we create a new higher high with the 5 minutes, then that's the time for me to put my stop loss at the break even. The order is still there at 30.05 with a Pfizer. Unlike AMD, that was exciting. You get to see I don't like that the volume bar is low there. Big volume bar is not there with the Pfizer. Unlike AMD, AMD has a good order flow. Look at Pfizer. Pfizer is just moving so slowly. So, but yeah, we'll be patient with this. AMD looks like it's about to test and make a new testing the resistance in AMD. But we're done with the AMD trade. We're now here at Pfizer. Big order sitting right here. 29.97 is this the entry. So right there is the entry. Stop loss here. can even have the stop loss right there at 87. I think risking 20 cents or 10 cents here is enough. I already have that move in AMD. So 10 cents move, willing to risk 10 cents here. So 10 cents with my position, just because I have a big position. Yeah, just willing to risk 10 cents. So 87 is my stop loss. Orders is still there. The volume is not there though. Let's just erase this one. That was a big volume bar right here. Oh wow, so this is, yeah, that one was the move that I was waiting for AMD. That's why I did not want to be in front of that strong stock. You don't want to short that one because, yeah, it's just very strong. Look at that. AMD is up by 0.2% or 20 cents. Yeah, good for you, AMD. Good for you. All right. This probably is one of the most boring trade ever, but hey, we're up by 100 here, so we'll take that. And Medtronic is looking like a short here. I just don't like shorting everything that's oversold. Even if it has a little bit of a pullback, it will not be a lot of pullback because it's already been oversold. Oh my gosh. Look at that. That's amazing. Yeah, this one has a potential to go 98.22 because now looking at the daily, it's about to break those resistance. Yeah, that's the one that I was waiting for. It just didn't go there quick enough. And our Pfizer here is, yeah, just taking its time. So we have 2 more minutes before this candlestick closes. Nvidia at least found a direction as well, just like AMD. AMD, that is such an amazing move. SPY finally found a direction too. Up by 21%. Our Pfizer. Alright, considering that this is a big volume bar here, yeah, this can just go either direction, just like any other trade. Any other trade can just go either direction. So, yeah. Let's look at this one closely. Hands is on the trigger. I'm not going to be willing to risk a lot here. That's why let's see, 10 cents. 10 cents is even more. So, yeah, with the move that I was able to capture with AMD, risking here 10 cents is just not logical. All right, so we have, okay, new candlestick here. Volume bar is big when we're red. I don't like that. AMD, amazing. So just expect some consolidation here. Look at the candlestick here. We're below this moving average. So unless we break off of that moving average, which is the big order is at 30.05, then that's the only time that we get to have the confirmation that this one is heading higher. SPY had another pullback, but that one is just the 1 minute. What time is it? 10:56. Okay. Thinking of wrapping this up. Let's see if it's gonna give us any other trades. SE, not doing a lot today. Disney, same thing. Plug. Pfizer, waiting for that. Did we get the fill? Or not me, but okay, 305 is there. So I need a pop. So that 305 is getting filled, but just because unlike AMD, this one does not have that dramatic move of, you know, that pop. Another rejection there. Okay, so that one was another rejection. 305. AMD is the most more exciting trade than this. Trying to look if there's any other trades that is all right. What was that? I was looking at the tape. We're at 30. 30.01. It's just a spread of 0.01. Okay. By that spread, okay, there's still big S sitting at 30.05. We have 2 minutes before this candlestick closes. SPY having a little bit of a pullback. AMD is just gone. It's just went all the way up there. Okay. So here, because we keep on having that resistance is 30.05, stop loss here is 29.93. So I'm just willing to risk 0.05 cents for this. So 0.05 cents. So this is going to be my stop loss right here. Just because I don't see any follow through. And I already made my move in AMD. So yeah, 0.05 cents is all that I'm going to be risking here. My goodness, this is like watching the paint dry. Now, if you're an option trader, you don't want this. You don't want any consolidation. A stock trader like me, that's totally fine. Yeah, there's not a lot of momentum there. Pfizer. So people just don't like Pfizer anymore, huh? The last time it was in that level was back in 2020, around March of 2020. Wow. Yeah, Pfizer is not going anywhere here. So hands is on the trigger. 97, 98. We're still at 98. Oh my gosh, such a boring trade. So, okay, volume is not there when we're heading lower. New candlestick here. AMD is just amazing. And this is such a boring trade here. With this little bit of a move, it's like, what a waste of time. Seriously. Big FOMO at AMD. So let's look at a different stock here. Well, this one is haven't figured out what it wants to do. Another resistance there. I just need this to break off of that 30.07, but it just seems to take the longest time. Alright, well, looking at the 15 minutes, at least it's higher high. So this one is lower than this. And I need this to break 30.07, which is this. Once it breaks off of that 30.07, we're at the VWAP, and yeah, that could look good with our long position. Here you go. So the indicator for me to go long here was that 100 share sitting at the ask at 30.05. So very bullish there. There you go. So very bullish there. So it now broke that ceiling, that resistance 30.06. So yeah, that's where I went long. And so far, although this one looks like we're watching the paint dry, we're still up a couple of hundreds here, so we'll take it. But this one is, I missed this move. So that move is 96 to 97, so 97.4. So that is a dollar move there. I missed that because of course in the 5 minutes we saw some reversal there, but then when I saw this, it's not going to be good for short because we base it from the daily. The daily looks oversold, so you don't want to be stepping in front of a freight train. This one, there's no trade to take there. This one can just go either direction as well. Scalp traders can make money off that, but I don't get that much profit doing a scalp. I end up just doing, paying lots of commission with scalping, so I stay with the trend. So right now it created a new high, 30.13. We are now back in that, but at least we are in that moving average. The 30.05 was a big wall right there. So we're now back in that, waiting that it gets defended. So now that I have that move in AMD, my strategy is, I'm not going to use all my capital in one trade. Like in Pfizer, I significantly reduce my share size with this. So that's how you protect your profit as well. The worst thing that a day trader can do is when you are up already, let's say you're green, and then you lose that green because you wanted to get more. That is the worst day. That's where you get those hawk days. You turn into like those big hawk that you just keep firing off those trades because you feel like the market owes you because initially you were up and then you gave it all back and then now you are in a bigger hole. So that's the worst position to be at. That's why when you already capture a big move, you don't want to risk that much as well. You want to risk little because you don't want to give back as well. So you always protect what you already have. And yeah, that's what we did here. Although it's working in our favor, of course, you're going to be thinking, oh, I could have made money if I put all my capital. Right now, I'm just up by 400, but I could have gotten more. But that's okay. You just get to be thankful of that the market is giving the opportunity. Now AMD, let's look at this. Look at that. So that one, very enticing to short that, but again, there's no short to take there because the daily is an oversold. So still, all the shorts there could just be those long trying to scoop it and buy it at a cheaper price. So you don't want to be involved with that. I got involved with Pfizer because of that double bottom that it showed, and it had that big order at 305 right here. So it kind of gives you that picture that, yeah, this one has a momentum to go up, which sure enough, to 29.97. So we're up here by 25 cents. And those are the trades that I like. I was mentioning earlier that this trade looks like I'm watching a paint dry, which I don't mind watching a paint dry. If I'm up by now by 500, that's totally fine. Yeah, and those are the profitable trades that I get to see though. Those trades that are you want to train your eyes, you want to train yourself to trade the easy trade. Big order sitting right here, so I can take some partial here too, because now looks like the tide is turning. There's some 30.20. But yeah, going back to that analysis, you want to do easy trades. You don't want to do, oh, just because it's exciting, that's, everyone is trading. You want to jump into that. If your strategy is not those very volatile stocks, then feel free to, look at the stocks that would give you that consistency. And that consistency is even trading those stocks that are not as exciting, like Pfizer. Pfizer gave us a 25, almost 30 cents move there, but those are the low risk, high reward stocks kind of trade. So you just wanted to make an easy trade. Okay, Disney. Still, Disney is an oversold, so I don't want to short anything that's looking oversold. SE, I like SE to go this much for me to be confident in shorting it. So right now, not confident shorting it yet. So all I can say is the market is really hot. I only had, this is the second trade that I have, and it is just, okay, let's take some partial again. Okay, so partial there. We are just gonna move our stop loss above, but look at that move. This one took 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes to do, but 25 minutes of already made a profit of almost 500 there. Not bad at all, not bad. So now that this one is done, Disney, what I'm looking at Disney is, you have a big volume bar here. You had this, could be a short, but looking at the daily, it's not time for a short. So no trades to take there. Baba is doing a double bottom. Volume bar is coming down. It can have a bounce, but you do have some levels here still that it can test. Amazon, not good. Chewy, not good as well. Tesla consolidating. So we were able to capture that move just because of that big takeaway here in the ask at 500. So moving my stop loss again. That was a big rejection right there at 30.30. That's why I was aggressive to move my stop loss right here. So I don't mind getting stop out there when it already gave us that 30 cents of a move. And Nvidia looking weak. This is why I was saying earlier, Disney, although the 5 minutes looks like a short, you don't want to short that because the daily tells you otherwise. Daily is an oversold, so daily is gonna be popping to the long. All right, back here, it's not giving my share. Okay, so got filled there. I have any more shares left? All right, so all out in Pfizer. So 2 trades so far that are very profitable. So yeah, that's how we trade. You just make it easy trade, as well as if you're having those palpitation, that's not a good sign, because that means when you're in a trade, I used to trade that way. Either I have so big of a position that every time there's a print in the tape up and down, it's just giving me those palpitation. That means, yeah, you have a big position that, you know, a small move can create a havoc on your trade. You don't want to be in that position. You want to be in a trade where at least you get to still analyze, give yourself some time to recognize the patterns, and those are the trades that are what we call an easy trade. So we have those two trades to long, AMD and Pfizer, and yeah, it's profitable. Let's see if there's Amazon having another pullback. SPY as well. BABA. Okay, let's analyze BABA here. What I'm seeing with BABA is, look at the 5 minutes now. I'm not going to be calling this one out for a trade to a long, because this still is a high risk. What I find about Chinese stocks, BABA, JD, all that, is they're not as fluid as those American stocks. So this one, although the volume bar is dying here, okay, and we're heading to that S4, that can also be a place where it gets those buyers interested, and this can just have that pop up. Look at the bid. We have bid there. That's very bearish. So still, this one still has room to go down. I won't be surprised if this one goes below 81.2. If SPY also is weak. But that's how you get to analyze it, and that's how you have those watch lists. Because when you get those watch lists, you know, you're in the middle of a trade. If that trade is consolidating, then you want to look into your watch list and see which in your watch list is forming those strategies that you have. So it's just like plug and play. You already have a picture in your head what kind of a movement you're waiting for, and once you see it in your watch list, then you just do it. So with Disney, again, this one looking like a short, but the daily looks oversold, so I am not going to be shorting that. I'm just watching. So let's see if there's no other trade. It's 11:14. I have a meeting at 12, so I will, just do a recap here and, of course, confirm to my meeting. All right. So Disney, let's see. At this time of the day, this is the time of the day where consolidation is expected. Traders like us is done with our trade, so there's not going to be a lot of movement. You don't want to be throwing away commissions just because you get stuck with a trade that is not going anywhere, that is just flat. That is the worst trade that you can do, is to enter a trade that is just flat, and worse is you just end up paying those commissions. So with that, 11:15, let's do our recap here. And yeah, by the way, if you guys have questions, if you want any stocks that you want us to analyze, just throw it in the chat, and yeah, we'll be happy to analyze those stocks for you, with you, okay? But for now, let's do a recap. So all right, So good afternoon, everyone, or good morning. It's still a morning. It's 11:16, last day of the month. It's October 31st, and yeah, SPY, AMD, Pfizer did not disappoint. So I only traded 2 stocks today, and it was both to the long side. So let's begin with SPY. SPY, looking at the daily, is looking like it had been in that oversold territory. So let's zoom out. The last time we were at that level was, see here, back in May of this year. So look at how massive the downward move with the SPY is, right? So what I noticed with SPY is, at the open, it is not creating that much an opening range breakout strategy. That's why I have put that strategy on the side. For a couple of weeks now, SPY is heading lower. Let's see if there's anything. AMD is heading lower now. Okay. No trades to take though, so I wouldn't recommend you to trade anything at all at this time. But what I see with SPY is an oversold. 2 days ago, you have that, not the perfect hammer, but it is looking like it had found that support at 409.54. And then at 409.54, yesterday, we have that first white candlestick. That first white candlestick, although there's not a lot of volume there, one can make a conclusion that we have found a lower low and have that reversal. So this one is lower than this. So that reversal created that higher high, higher low. So with that in mind, this one created today an inside bar, but the big picture that I'm trying to say is that SPY looks like an oversold. So with SPY looking like an oversold based on a higher time frame, which is the daily, I look at what is the stock that kind of mimics the SPY, and that is our buddy AMD. So with AMD, not looking exactly like the daily of the SPY, because AMD has that 1, 2, 3, 4 consolidation there. Here, 1, 2, 3, 3 consolidation there. But with AMD, look at the last time it touched that level. Last time it touched that level is at September 25, and also back here in 2023 of May. So with AMD looking like also an oversold right here, very interested in being long in AMD if it gives us that confirmation. So what I saw with AMD, now what I'm using is a higher time frame, which is, I begin with first daily, you have the 15 and the 5 minutes. I don't mess around with the 1 minute anymore. There's so many noise in the 1 minute, even the 2 minutes, that I don't find any consistency with that. If I only fix my eyes on a higher time frame, that's where the consistency is, and that's where I've been having that consistency for a couple of weeks now. Wow, very short bias there. So with AMD looking like it's oversold, what I saw with the 15 is that wick, and the daily is being an inside bar. What I saw here was, look at how oversold this thing looks like. You have 97.25 all the way to 94. So that is already more than $2 move to the downside. Very huge candlestick at the 15 minutes. I do have a level here, which is the pre-market high, pre-market low. Pre-market high is this, and pre-market low is this. So when I saw that AMD looks like an oversold, I am long biased because of the daily. What I did was wait for a confirmation. So I saw this hammer right here. That's the time that I start building my position. So with AMD hammer, you have my stop loss is here, and entry is at 94.65. So that's why I put that level right there. So since my entry was bigger at this, and while I'm adding, I have my average cost at 94.65. So with that move, it was a good move, just because first it did not retest the low of the day. So I did not get stop out, as well as it was an easy trade. easy trade because I already have a thesis that market is going to bounce today because it looks oversold, and AMD is going to bounce today because it's looking oversold as well. So with that thesis in mind, I just went all in here, building up my position, and was able to capture all the way up here and then all out at the sign of reversal, which got that drop, but I did not get to capture all the move, but still that move right there without retesting the low of the day was a pretty good move. So that one was from 94.65, and the highest one that I have here is 95.94. So that's more than $1 move. So that's why for the long with AMD, I got 3K with that 3,400. And then, so only one trade with AMD, that capture or that move right there, we were able to capture that. I was also calling that out. So I hope you guys got to ride that trade with me. And then also Pfizer. Pfizer, I was mentioning that this one looks like I'm waiting for the paint to dry. So with the Pfizer move, what I saw here is also the oversold looking at the daily. Look at this one, daily with the Pfizer looks like it had found that support at that pink line right there, which is 29.97. That is right here, 29.97. What I saw here was when I was in AMD trade, I saw that this one has a hammer as well. Not as clean hammer as the AMD, but look at what it did with that hammer. It just shoot right up. So when I saw that, I was in AMD, I'm like, okay, I will wait for another opportunity to do along with Pfizer. So what it did was pre-market low is this. Where is the pre-market low here? Let me just unzoom it. Pre-market low is the red one. I needed to change it because of the entry that I have. I need to make sure that I get to see my entry. So pre-market low is at 29.94. When I saw that, it had that pullback again, retesting that level, and that is the pre-market low. It is respecting that pre-market low. I entered right there, building up my position, and with the average cost that I have at 29.97. So with that, this took a while for the consolidation, had the confirmation that we're heading higher because every time this one is closing, that the red candlestick, the momentum for it to go down is dying. So sure enough, got that pop right there. And with that pop, just a small position, I was discussing that as well. Once I get the move already with one stock, I don't want to risk all my capital, and that's where I lower down my share size. And that's the reason why, although we get a move of 25 cents, so this one 29.96 all the way to 30.28, so that is around 30 cents. Even with that move, 30 cents, not a lot of shares, so only got me 550. But with that, it was a very profitable day, ending my day with a 4K. And yeah, calling it a day just because we're heading to 12, and with the time, considering it's already 11:24, expect some consolidation and not as fluid as the open, just because now lots of day traders are finished with their trades and could have a lot of fake out as well. So you have to consider that too. So unless you really have an A+ strategy at your watch list, then you don't have any business in entering a trade at this moment. What I would suggest is, if you haven't met your goal yet for the day, is come back around 2:30 to the power hour, which is at 3, but you want to see your setups first, that's why come back around 2:30, so you get to see your setup before the power hour, so you get to have those capture those moves in case you haven't captured the move yet for today. But last look at the watch list, trying to see if there's any easy trade. Right now, I don't see anything. So with that, ending the day with 2 trades only. So not a lot of trades, but we'll take what the market is giving us and we'll call it a day. So again, if you guys have any questions or you want us to checked any stocks, do you want us to analyze any of the stocks, just throw it in the chat, and more than willing to check that and analyze that stock for you, because we always believe that it's always is good to learn with others, and that's how this community was formed. So please put in the chat if you do have any stocks that you want us to analyze. And if you guys are just new with day trading, please feel free to check our website. It's called ecollersunlock.com, and in that website you will see our syllabus. So if you click on our day trading, we also invest in real estate. So here is our services as well as the syllabus. So check it out. And yeah, we do have our recaps there as well. We try to update that almost every week. So if you have questions, you can also reach us. Please feel free to email us. And with that, hope you guys had a green trading day. Again, this is the best time to be a day trader just because of what the market is giving us. The volatility of the market is just amazing. Opportunity is there as long as you have the solid strategy, solid foundation, and it's not too late yet to learn and to have a solid strategy. If you notice, we always just do this kind of trade. It's like a rinse and repeat. You don't have to complicate stuff. What we do here in our community is we trade based on VWAP, based on pivot points, based on we like our opening range breakdown, breakout, not for a couple of weeks now. We don't see any setup, but those are the strategies that we have. 9 EMA. So once you perfect one strategy, you stick with it, you rinse and repeat, and that's where you will find the consistency. It took me a while as well to find the consistency just because I was making it complicated. I was doing a lot of scalping, doing, even the low price cheap stocks that are not the mid-range, mid-cap. Those small caps can be very volatile, and that's why I have a specific criteria that I will not even touch a stock unless it is at least a 20 million float. Otherwise, if it's less than that, it's a low float stock. If a big pocketed trader dropped his shares or her shares, then if you are on the opposite side of the trade, then that would be very would create a havoc on your trade. So that's why you stick with the strategy, build that solid strategy, build that foundation, and then you just rinse and repeat. So for that, again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll just keep my watch list up in case you guys are not done trading yet. At least you get to see what we're watching and the levels are there. So with that, please don't overtrade and just come back fresh around 2:30 for the power hour. With that, have a good one, and yeah, we'll see you next month, which is gonna be we'll do this again next time. Thank you. Bye. And if we will spend 90,000 hours at work, which is the average number of hours
HOWL, getting a reiterating HC Wainwright reiterating Werewolf's $15 price target and buy rating. That's Hotel Oscar Whiskey Lima. HOWL. SAVA Cassava Sciences shares hitting new highs now, $19.84. Sandy Alpha Victor Alpha. BFRI, BioFrontier, announced $4.5 million registered direct offering priced at the market. That is Bravo Foxtrot Romeo India, BFRI. Up 1.205 million shares and warrants to purchase up to 1.807 million shares at an exercise price of $3.55 per share. That is Bravo Foxtrot Romeo India, BFRI. Savin, SAVA now popping to the highs. Sandy Alpha, Victor Alpha 2031. Up about 7% at the highs, SAVA.
At 12 p.m. Eastern Time, we expect comments from ECB's Nagel, who gives a speech on inflation in Berlin.
SGMO,
European
Sangamo,
gas for
3rd Kicks,
December
getting
falls
up
as
hot to
much
the
as
highs. Sandy Gulf, Michael Oscar,
10.5% to 47.45
up
euro per
12%.
megawatt hours. At 12 p.m. Eastern Time, we expect comments from ECB's Nagel, who gives a speech on inflation in Berlin.
This stream is sponsored by TickStrike. TickStrike allows you to actually hear order flow in futures, forex, and stock instruments. Get a free trial at tickstrike.com.
IBRX hitting new highs now, $3.53, up 14.5%. That's India Bravo Romeo X-ray, IBRX.
Shortly expecting comments from ECB's Nagel.
S&P futures popping here. $41.94 up 8. NVAX, Novavax. EMA recommends approval of adapted Nuvaxovid COVID-19 vaccine targeting Omicron XBB 1.5. That is November Victor Alpha X-ray, NVAX. Shares of Novavax popping on that. That's NVAX. EIA says U.S. crude oil production in August rose 0.7% to 13.05 million barrels per day, a new monthly record.
ECB's Nagel says inflation has proven stubborn and has not yet been defeated. There are several upside risks to inflation. Geopolitical tensions in the Middle East could drive up energy prices. It is not yet possible to say whether interest rates have already reached their peak, and we must not let up soon. Rates must be sufficiently high for sufficiently long. ECB's Nagel says inflation has now fallen significantly, but is still too high.
Letter H, Hyatt Hotels, a spike in volume. Letter H.
U.S. crude production in North Dakota rose by 3.2% to 1.217 million barrels per day in August, the highest since March 2020, according to the EIA. U.S. crude production in New Mexico rose by 2.3% to 1.797 million barrels per day in August, the highest since May 2023.
Stephanie Link on CNBC trims her position in Chevron, CVX. Stephanie Link buys more SLB. That's Sandy Lima Bravo. QTWO, Q2 Holdings, spike in volume, Quebec Tango Whiskey Oscar. QTWO seeing unusual activity, volume in the stock, $30.13 now at the high, Quebec Tango Whiskey Oscar.